What's going on, guys? Aaron from PhoneDog.com here, and Sprint and Samsung have heard your cries for a 4G device that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg on. You know, these $200 4G devices are all well and good, but $200 is pretty expensive. That's quite a bit of money to spend on anything, much less a smartphone. Well, they've heard your cries because the Samsung Conquer 4G is coming to Sprint on August 21st for $99.99. Now, this is the first 4G device to come in at $100 right out of the gate. So $99.99 gets you a 4G device with a 1 gigahertz processor, 3.5-inch display, so it's definitely a high mid-range device or low high-end device. It's not going to compete with the Evo 3D or the Photon 4G, but still, it's nice to see a 4G device land on the nation's third largest wireless carrier for under $100. Now, is this a device to get? Should you save your pennies and go with the Evo 3D? Perhaps with the Photon 4G? We'll find out in the unboxing. But special thanks to my boys at Best Buy because they've hooked us up with 2 of these for use in our One Paw Bandit game, or some of these for use in our One Paw Bandit games. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. I don't know why I'm using my hands so much, but they'll help you set up your email, your web, and more on this device. So when you walk out, you're good to go. Special thanks to our friends at Sprint for hooking us up with a review unit. Let's go check it out. Samsung Conquer 4G, is it the one to have? I like the $199 4G phones as much as you do, but at the end of the day, it's nice to see 4G coming to a little bit of a different price point. So those people that maybe don't want to spend $200, or perhaps a first-time smartphone buyer, or somebody that's coming up from maybe a low-end smartphone to this, they can get a 4G device at a reasonable price without having to worry about dropping $200 or more for a quality device. Here's the Samsung Conquer 4G. It's available as of August 21st, so 2 more days at Sprint and online at Sprint.com. It's available, the rumor is, $69.99 at Radio Shack, so keep that in mind as well if you're looking to buy this device. But it's a 4G device, and the specs are obviously lower than what you would see on the Evo 3D or on the Photon 4G. You've got a 1 gigahertz processor here, you have a 3.5-inch display, LCD display, 320 by 480 pixels, and Android 2.3. Actually comes with a version of Android 2.3.4 on this bad boy. So Snapdragon processor, which is nice, and also it's not running TouchWiz UI, so it's not running Samsung's custom user interface. It's running stock Android with Sprint ID, as we can see over here. So you get an idea what the box looks like. You can see in the box you get the phone, the battery, charger, data cable, memory card, adapter, and all of your instruction manuals. So we'll pull it out and take a look. And here's the phone. Looks a lot like, I wouldn't say it looks like anything in particular, but 3.2 megapixel camera with a flash, so it's definitely on the mid-range side, maybe low-high end. With the processor, but mid-range definitely when it comes to camera. 3.5mm headphone jack up here on the top with a power button, camera shortcut button over here, micro USB charging port on the bottom, and you got your volume rocker over there on the side. We'll go ahead and let this power up, and while that's powering up, look at this. Get started. Samsung Conquer 4G. Vamos, todo lo que tienes que saber para empezar. Samsung Conquer 4G. Important information for the Samsung Conquer 4G. A nice recycling bag, and please tell us what you think about your phone. So be sure to tell Sprint what you think about their phone. And then here, of course, the AC adapter module. Typical stuff you get with these devices. AC adapter, USB cable, which doubles up as the charging cord for your AC adapter. And then you get a micro USB, or a micro SD to SD adapter, so you can take that micro SD card, pop it into this, and then put it in your computer without having to worry about going out and buying one. So you get all that in the box. We'll put that back in. And take a look at this bad boy. I don't think it actually powered on. Let's take that out of my hand here. There we go, Samsung. So I got some still we'll have some plastic over here on the sides. So let's get that off. Get the plastic. Hey, let's take a look and see what kind of battery this comes with. Because Sprint, of course, is a CDMA device, so they had to program it prior to sending it out. And sorry, I am going to have to turn it off. 1500 milliamp hour battery. So 1500 milliamp. With a smaller display like this, with a a lower, and it's hard to say 1 gigahertz. Is a low performing processor because it's not, but with a lower clock speed like 1 gigahertz and just being a single core, should be able to make it through a day, I imagine, with moderate use on a 1500 milliamp hour battery. So let's turn this back on. But you can see front facing camera as well, so it doesn't really skimp out on the features. The back camera is a little bit low in terms of megapixels. But let's see here. Oh, there it is. We'll get this one off. I'm having some trouble with these stickers, geez. There we go. Get that one removed. Get the sticker goo, that's what I'm going to call it, on the side. So you can see, chrome accents. You got this texturized battery door. It's a good looking device. The display is a little bit small, and it's hard to believe that that's actually the display that comes with the iPhone. So because there's a lot of excess plastic around this device, whereas with the iPhone, it does pretty much go. I mean, I think the glass kind of throws it off a little bit and makes it look larger than it really is. But you can see front-facing camera, 4 physical buttons down here. It actually kind of looks a little bit like the Droid. Well, not really, not at all, but I was going to make a comparison, then I was like, nah, it really doesn't look like that. But you can see the physical buttons down here, menu, home, back, and search. And then, like I said, you get kind of a stock build of Android here. Well, interestingly enough, it doesn't say Sprint over there just yet. We'll take a look and see. But Android 2.3.4, so it's running the latest build of Gingerbread, and you can see the kind of Gingerbread things like the battery indicator, signal strength bar, and you can see again, no TouchWiz installed on this device. So out of the box, you get books, you get a couple of Sprint applications, you get Sprint Hotspot, so you can use it as a mobile hotspot, Sprint ID, Sprint Mobile Wallet, Sprint Zone, and that's it. So pretty clean installation, and I think that's what really works to speed up this device in comparison to something like the Epic 4G or something that's running TouchWiz and has that 1 GHz processor. I also think Snapdragon processors are far faster than the Hummingbird processors. That is something they perform as well. So you can see 3.5-inch display, but it's still pretty zippy, and it's definitely not a phone to pass up on if you're looking for perhaps even for you, for mom, for anybody. It's definitely something to consider. So you have 5 home screens over here, and you can see it's still moving pretty quickly. It's a good, nice, fast device. We'll take a look at messaging, and we'll load that up so you can see. You get 2 keyboard options. You get the Android keyboard, and let me try and get this up here. Android keyboard, and then of course you get swipe as well. So that's your thing. You can use swipe. We'll load up and we'll do a quick test sentence. You can see definitely pretty fast to me. The Quick Brown Fox. My typing is pretty bad on it, but let's see. Is eating. Quick Brown Fox is eating butter. The Quick Brown Fox is eating butter. There's what it looks like in portrait, and of course landscape. Now again, like I said, smaller display in comparison to maybe something like the Revolution, or on the Sprint side, the Evo 3D, or the Photons. It's a smaller display, but still, for a mid-range device, this is quite the mid-range device to have, it seems like. I mean, it's definitely fast. Transition effects are pretty quick. So you can see that even though it's running a single-core 1 GHz processor, it's relatively zippy. So of course Android Market, which is the new one, I'm not going to wait for it to load. But you get Sprint ID pre-installed on this, which makes sense coming from a mid-range device like this. Didn't really make a lot of sense coming on the Photon, but of course you can change your ID pack by accessing Sprint ID. And because the data speeds aren't so great on 3G right now, it's going to take forever to load that up, so I won't waste too much time if it doesn't load up. We'll see. Yeah, load it up. So you can load up, socially connected, for example, download that Sprint ID pack and use that on your phone, and it'll replace the icons, probably the background wallpaper as well. So some customization options, which is nice. So otherwise, again, Android 2.3.4 build pretty stock all the way through. You can see the standard phone application, call log, contacts, and favorites. You can load that up, and you can see it's a pretty standard install of Android 2.3.4 with the exception of the Sprint stuff. So nice you can get Sprint hotspots. I mean, all in all, for $100, this is a pretty good device out of the gate. You know what $100 means at Sprint? It means it's probably going to be cheaper elsewhere. I'm sure you'll find it cheaper at Wirefly and Amazon and Radio Shack, Best Buy, places like that. It should be much cheaper. But again, Sprint hotspot, 4G, 1 GHz processor, can't really complain for $100. That's a pretty good deal. Much more coverage to come on the Samsung Conquer 4G. Keep it locked on the site, but in the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away a ton of tablets. It's part of our greatest tech giveaway ever. We're giving away Apple iPad 2s, touchpads, as long as they last, Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1s, and Asus Transformers. A lot of options to win. Head over there, check it out, and be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at my fan page, facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, and keep it locked on the site for more coverage on this nice little mid-range, cheap 4G handset. We'll see you next time.